Welcome to Your Key to Real Estate. I'm Shannon Kriska, your host and realtor, and I'm so happy today to have the top Feng Shui specialist I have ever known, Miss P.K. Odell, to answer your questions and so you can know more about Feng Shui. Welcome, P.K.
Hi, Shannon. I'm looking forward to answering your questions.
I'm so glad you're here today because as a realtor and with my clients, there are so many questions sometimes people will have. There's confusion about different types of Feng Shui and what they can have in their home or when you're looking at a house. So first, tell us a little bit about the history of Feng Shui.
Actually, Feng Shui has been around since before paper was invented.
Wow.
And it has its base in the I Ching. Mm-hmm. The I Ching has the yin and yang, which is the masculine and the feminine, or the assertive and the receptive. It also has the 5 elements, which are the remedies that we use in what I would call classical Feng Shui, which is technically I Ching Feng Shui. The Feng Shui was in the Emperor's palace. The Emperor would have 2 people that were his right-hand man and his left-hand man. One was the warlord and one was his Feng Shui consultant. Mm-hmm. And up until 907 AD, the emperor was the one that could say who could have Feng Shui help with their homes or their businesses. And in 907 AD, during the Yellow Bandits Rebellion, mm-hmm. one Feng Shui master actually escaped and lived the rest of his life in hiding in the mountains.
Wow.
He had children and taught his sons and daughters and chose one apprentice. And that apprentice's last name was Sang. And that's my Feng Shui master's lineage comes from that.
Okay, so now I know how technical this is, mm-hmm. because as I was getting my real estate license, after I'd met you, mm-hmm. I went to the Feng Shui Institute mm-hmm. in Monterey Park.
The American Feng Shui Institute?
Yes, and studied beginning mm-hmm. and intermediate. And mm-hmm. Master Sang was my teacher for mm-hmm. intermediate, which mm-hmm. I know he's your teacher. Mm-hmm. It was so in-depth. Like we were talking a little earlier, I couldn't do that and also be a realtor. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't understand mm-hmm. that it's very, very technical.
Yes.
And there's a lot of misconceptions about things. Like mm-hmm. you'll go in a store and you'll see Feng Shui remedies, mm-hmm. And we call that black hat Feng Shui, mm-hmm. right?
If it's prepackaged, it's either black hat or Western School of Feng Shui.
Yeah, which is mm-hmm. not the classic or the roots of Feng Shui come from.
Mm-hmm. They started in the late 20th century, mm-hmm. Wow. Those two. The classical I Ching Feng Shui has been around since before paper was invented. It's a sister science to acupuncture, and it's equally as complex.
It is. Mm-hmm. It is very complex. Right.
So I don't know too many acupuncturists that take on a second career.
Exactly.
They'll know Chinese medicine and all the other herbal medicines
yes.
that go with acupuncture, but Feng Shui, it's very difficult to master Feng Shui and do another career.
So let me ask you, mm-hmm. when I'm showing a house to a potential buyer mm-hmm. and we walk in and let's say the house is on a T mm-hmm. where the house is sitting straight where another road mm-hmm. is going to hit it.
Right.
So a lot of people don't want that house mm-hmm. because the energy is going to hit that home. Mm-hmm. But there are remedies.
Right. The remedy is, say this table was the house mm-hmm. and the street was coming straight at it. Hopefully it's not coming at the driveway because that's more expensive to fix. But if it's coming at the yard, then you can just put thick bushes mm-hmm. that will deflect the chi. The chi travels with the car mm-hmm. and the car has...
and chi is energy.
Chi is energy.
Yes.
It travels with wind and water, which is what Feng Shui technically is translated. Mm-hmm. Feng is wind and Shui is water. Mm-hmm. And the energy of the universe travels with the currents of mm-hmm. wind and water, mm-hmm. which is why we build houses to protect us mm-hmm. from wind and water. And when the cars come along, they have brakes and steering mechanism to turn, but the chi just keeps coming and keeps bombarding your house. And unless you have extremely auspicious energy combinations that the chi is activating all the time, you really don't want that to happen. So it's maybe a 3 to 5% chance that tea might be good for you.
Okay.
So let's say at least 95% of the time it's bad for you. So you would put a barrier between you. It could be thick bushes, it could be a solid stone fence, anything that will stop the air currents from hitting the house.
That's a great remedy.
Right.
Because I know that there's remedies for these things. Just like we were talking a little earlier. Some people believe, like if you walk in a front door, you have a window, or there's direct wind or energy going through the house. Like let's say you have a window in the front and a window in the back that are lined. So if you have those both open, the energy is it's taking your, like you said earlier, it's taking your money out of your house. So what would be the remedy for that?
Alternate when they're open. So don't have both of them open at the same time. Whether it's a door and a window, or 2 windows or 2 doors, they would not be open at the same time unless you burn fish. Then you would want to air out the house. But other than that, you would not want them open at the same time. So you would alternate and open other windows or doors to air out the house, so that the chi circles around and nourishes the entire house. Or if you have a home office, one of my clients had a home office that had a door from her kitchen and a door to the hallway that went to the bedrooms and the bathroom, and she would leave them both open. She never had any energy in that room to get anything done, so she said she would work out.
Now, were they lined up?
They were exactly in line with each other. You know, in most homes, it's the path of the hallway. And so I just told her one door has to remain closed when she's not going through it. She can still use it, but she has to close it behind her, and that lets the chi circulate and stay in the room, so she'll have the energy to complete things.
Yeah, that's great. That's great, because there's so much to know, and it really makes so much sense. Like you have this great email weekly.
My it's a monthly newsletter.
Your monthly newsletter that talks about every year energy changes.
Oh, yes.
And it also now this is something a lot of people don't know, but it's very important. That explain how does the person fit in the house? Like if there are different people that live in the house, how do you work all of that together?
Okay. Well, the house has energies, and we work on the energies of the house with the 5 elements as remedies. The individuals that live there, they each have their own set of Feng Shui personal directions. The first are the basic ones that are their trigrams from the I Ching. So each one of us is born into one of the 8 trigrams of the I Ching. And those trigrams dictate what's our best and most restful sleeping direction. And we each have 4 that we can choose from. It goes from the best, the second best, third, and fourth. And then it also tells us what direction we need to keep uncluttered, because clutter in certain directions from our date of birth will cause us financial setbacks, health, relationship problems. And then during this 20-year time period in Feng Shui, we have annual influences and 20-year influences. This 20-year period started on February 4th of 2004, which is the Chinese Solar New Year, which is Feng Shui relates to the Chinese Solar New Year. And it will go till 2024. So during this time period, no one should have clutter in the Northeast or the Northwest. Those 2 are very important areas for all homes and businesses to keep clean and uncluttered, whether it be inside or outside.
Now, what if there is clutter?
Then you need to clean it up. It will cause financial setbacks, health problems, relationship problems. For instance, if it's clutter in the Northeast, you're going to have disobedient children.
Wow.
Yes. So you want to clean up the Northeast, even if it's a detached garage in that direction. The Northwest, it would cause, let's say, a business to be unable to get its name known in the world.
Okay.
So those are the 2 important, inside and out. And then from your date of birth, you have your own personal direction that you need to keep clean and neat. And if anyone wants to know that, they can send me an email with the word trigram in the subject line, and give me their first name, their gender, because it's based on your gender also, and their full date of birth. Month, day, and year. Got to have it all.
Okay.
And then I will email them back that information.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's so great.
So they can find me at pk@fengshuiadvantage.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/pk Feng Shui.
Okay.
And then they
now
can
let me
reach
ask
me
you. We
for
have
that, and I'll give them that. The other personal directions that are more powerful. These are the ones that barely 5% of Feng Shui people in the world can tell you. And that's why I don't want to just talk about the basic ones, because the more powerful 15-degree directions, those are the ones that will tell whether one person is going to be more prosperous in a house, because you have your prosperous direction. If the house is sitting, which is usually the back private side, the heavier side of the house, if it's sitting in that direction, it can trigger your prosperity. If you have a door there and you come and go through that door, it can bring you more money from whatever source you want to accept the money from. Or if you have windows there that you're able to open. But you also have a consuming direction. And so if you have a door in your consuming direction, money keeps going out through uncontrollable expenses. We also have prosperous and consuming years. So this year, anyone that whose prosperous direction is a snake, then they're going to have a more prosperous year. But anyone who's a pig this year is going to spend more money this year. So they need to watch how they spend their money so that they have get a return on their money they're spending.
Oh, that's good, because I thought I was a pig, but then because I'm January, you go back a year.
Yes, right. Anyone who's born in January, they count as the year before.
I'm not a pig.
Yes.
But a pig's supposed to be good, not like we Americans think about it.
No. Yeah.
So now let me ask you something else. I have a lot of friends or clients that think it would be great to have a red front door. And I try to tell them it may look good, but for Feng Shui it is not good. So tell our viewers about the red front door.
Okay. If it's an outer front door and it opens outside of the house, like it's a screen door or something and opens out, that's not the problem. It's when it's the front door that opens into the house, then it's affecting the energy at your entrance, which is the most important energy section of the house, is any entrance.
Because red is a fire energy.
Yes, red and purples are fire colors.
That into the house, what could happen?
It can cause, I went to one house. I pulled up to her house. She had a bright red door, and when her mother opened the door, she was there in a walker, and she was black and blue from head to toe. She was almost killed in an escalator accident.
Oh my gosh.
A red door with the wrong energy combination, which that lady happened to have at her door, will cause accidents, major illnesses, even brain tumors. So you don't want red doors. And if you use like the color purple, I had one client that she didn't have her door painted red, but as soon as you open the door, everything in the room right around the door was purple. And it's the same energy as red. It's a fire energy. And for her, it was triggering an energy combination that brought her gossip, arguments, and legal problems. And when I told her she'd have to rethink the purple color, and I told her what it was causing, the gossip, arguments, and legal problems, she said, "Why do you think I called you?"
Wow. What is the biggest success story that you have of someone that you found that had like something repeated year after year, like they just couldn't make enough money no matter what they did, or they had great ideas but they just couldn't become successful, or they wanted to have a kid and couldn't, and there was no medical reason or whatever? Do you
I've got success
those?
stories. I have success stories for all of those. One of them is actually a business here in Irwindale or Azusa, and they had the successful business that had been running for several decades, and a new owner got it, which was my client. And he said, nothing has changed here. And all of a sudden, no one's calling us for our work. No one's paying what they already owe the company. And I need you to come feng shui the company now that I own it. So I did, and it was actually in 2004. They had gone into a 20-year money lock, which means they could not make money during that time. Rodeo Drive is having that same problem. Several of the directions of the roads down in Beverly Hills Rodeo Drive are having the same problem. They just can't make money during this 20-year period, not for a money lock, but for another cyclical influence. So with that, we have to be able to do remedies outside to release the lock or to fix the other cyclical influence. And when he put the remedy outside, the first week, they got a $45,000 check from someone who was not even returning their collection calls.
Wow.
Right, and they took the business from 2004 to 2009. They went from $700,000 a year to over $5 million.
Wow.
So that's the difference of starting to use your feng shui remedies. Have another client who is an internationally known interior designer, Barbara Berry. She allows me to use her name because she's liked me on Facebook and everything, and she mentions me. When I did her first home that I did for her in Beverly Hills, she's moved since then, it needed a large water feature for a certain reason outside. And it was an important reason about money. And it took her 2 years to make a beautiful design for a fountain and get it installed, because after all, she's a well-known interior designer. The first week that fountain was in, she called me up. She goes, PK, why didn't you tell me what that would have done to my bottom line? She said, I would have put that fountain in 2 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Because her income increased so much. Then she started having me do her offices.
Now let's say now I'm wanting you to come to my house. There's the lock somewhere.
Okay.
How do you do that? How do you set that up, and what is the process?
Well, I can work on site with you locally. I can work remotely around the world. I've done a factory in Sri Lanka, homes in Kenya, offices on Madison Avenue. Locally, I will come and get your floor plan from you and analyze everything and sit there right there and write it all up. If they don't have a floor plan, I do charge a little extra because it takes me several hours extra to make their floor plan. It needs to be exactly to scale so I can locate, are the doors and windows in your prosperous or consuming?
Right.
Are they in a direction that's going to bring you friends that support you, or backstabbers? Are they in a direction that's going to help your love life or stop it? So all of those things that I have to analyze. And so in that case, if I'm making the floor plan, I will take it back to my office, write everything up, and then just come back and go over it with you. But I'm going to present the floor plan with the energy combinations on there. Not the energy combinations, because you don't need to know that. You just need to know where fire colors are going to help you or hurt you.
Right.
And when it comes to fire, I never tell anyone to burn a candle, because if they're unattended, it's just plain dangerous.
Yes.
Better to use the colors of fire. Purple, even the bright pinks, will represent fire safely. With the other elements, we want to use the actual elements. So earthen objects, metal objects, live plants. When it's a live plant, we want the green leaves. It's not the colors of the flowers, it's the green leaves. Or a water fountain. And you put those in as beautiful accessories to blend with your decor. That's the art part of Feng Shui. The science part is determining what you need in each section according to the energies. And that takes calculations. We have to know the year the building was built. We have to know the exact compass orientation of it.
And what's
magnetic compass?
I have it's low pan.
Yes, that's
not
the
a
Chinese.
regular. Yeah, you don't use.
No, you can use a regular compass as long as you
you
can read it. Yes.
Oh well,
But,
I got one of the low pans because I thought that was just really cool.
That's what our students need that
Yes.
because it's much easier.
Yes.
But to simply find where your personal directions are, as long as you can find magnetic north, I give my clients a chart that looks like a picture of a compass with all their directions on it that they can use when they're shopping for a new house. I had one client who's the first condo I did for the family was in the husband's lonely direction. He was only home 2 nights a week because his job kept him away 5 nights a week. So when they shopped for their next home, they used the combination of the entire family's personal directions to make sure they weren't going to trigger the husband's or the wife's lonely direction, so he could change jobs and be home with his wife.
That's so powerful. That is really. Now let me look. We did, on our. Thank you so much for posting on the Facebook page, Your Key to Real Estate.
Yes.
And I did get a couple of questions. Let me see if I can read them without my glasses. And you may have already answered some of these. Let me see. Okay, George from Monrovia wrote in, what would one expect to be covered in a Feng Shui evaluation?
Okay. Well, they definitely need to be able to take the compass calculations and the year it was built and calculate what's the energies, and for the current year, what's the influences, so they know what remedies to put in there. And the 20-year cyclical period, what are the influences?
Does that start for everyone at a different time, or is it just a 20-year? It's
20 years starts February. The solar new year of the even numbered decades, the 4th year of the even numbered decades. So it started 84 to 64. 64.
So this was
no 64 to 84.
That,
84 to 2004. So it's the even numbered decades, the 4th year of it. And on the 4th of February, the reason it's the 4th of February is because if you look at the Farmer's Almanac, you'll see that the 4th of February at a certain precise time is the halfway point between the exact winter solstice and the spring equinox. And that's why they call it the Chinese solar calendar.
That's so, I love all this because it really, I've seen changes.
Yeah.
I've seen, just the little bit I knew and the few things I changed in the house.
Right.
And
the consultation should also include all the occupants of the homes personal directions, so they can find out which direction of their bed is going to support their health and not make them sleep alone.
Now, okay, let's say, okay, I need that. No, how about if how long after, let's say you come to the consultation and the remedies are in place, is it almost immediately that the energy is going to shift?
Okay. It takes usually about up to 60 days. Some of the remedies can work immediately, but it can take up to 60 days for everything to start working again. It's kind of like the energy's coming at you and you've got to step aside for the fresh energy to come.
Right, right.
But I don't do the remedies. I tell the clients what to do. We brainstorm how they can do them as beautiful accessories that go with their decor. Because no one should look in your house and go, why do you have that there?
Yeah.
They should just compliment you on your decor.
Yeah.
So I brainstorm with them how they can do it, and once they get all the remedies in place, then it should take no more than 60 days for them to start getting the results that they want.
That's quick. I mean, that's incredible. Okay,
now, Feng Shui is not a end-all cure-all, because there are other things in your life that are affecting things, you know, your work ethics and your customer service if you're in a business, and your product and things like that. But Feng Shui, it's like a table usually has, or these chairs, they have 4 legs. So there's 3 other legs of your life that are holding you up, but if the 4th leg, the Feng Shui part, is not taken care of, then it's very hard to have a stable life and get the results that you want.
Well, I would think that would be like if someone, they're doing all the right things, but they feel like they're in quicksand.
Right.
Whatever they do, they just are not moving. It's not moving forward.
They feel like they're swimming upstream.
Exactly. So I would say that would be to kind of look at maybe your 3 legs, you've worked very hard to get those very strong, but you're still not moving at a pace that you should be for your energy.
Right. In the analogy of health, it would be kind of like you're eating right, you're exercising, you're getting plenty of sleep, but you're still smoking.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, we got to take care of that last one in order to really improve your health.
Yeah, to really have it move forward.
Yes.
Let me see. We also had Clay from Pasadena. What difference? Oh, well, that's exactly what you just said. What difference would I see if I had that Feng Shui done in my home? So kind of already did that one.
Oh, well, it will definitely improve productivity and prosperity, and while it's improving your health and relationships. So, yes.
I think we can all, you know, it just, I think sometimes just to get different things moving in our lives, because it's very, you know, always it's almost like if you have the financial security and the love of your life and you're sleeping well, you know, it's not going to last. No. No, but sometimes hopefully it will. But I'm just saying, if you, you know, if you have things that are energetically, because we're made of energy, everything is energy, so it makes such sense to have an environment in your home.
Well, you're a realtor, so you know that sometimes couples will buy their dream home, and then you check back with them and they've drifted apart and they're getting a divorce. That could be that something in the house is causing that to happen, whether it be the energy combination or their personal directions, because everyone has their lonely pillow direction. If something starts triggering one spouse or the other spouse's lonely pillow direction when they move into this new house, it can actually make them drift apart and even get a divorce.
That makes, there was this one gorgeous, it was a 10,000 square foot colonial, and a woman actually had called, you know, they were getting divorced to list this, and it was gorgeous. Everyone who had lived in the house, she was telling, she and her husband were going through a divorce, had had a divorce. And they ended up selling it to a single man. So, you know, I don't know if he's married or not, but yeah, that's very, very true.
In that case, it's probably the energy combination. When the energy combination of the potential of the house is the same as the master bedroom, or the master bedroom is the same as the entrance, and it's the energy that causes separation and divorce, they've got to have the remedies in place, or it's just going to happen to every couple that moves into the house.
Well, I can't believe we've already done like almost a half hour of the show. I'm going to have you back.
Okay.
You know, I've got to have to come to my house.
All right.
So anyway, tell the viewers, if they wanted to have a consultation, if they want to contact you, give them your phone number.
Okay. My phone number is 626-288-1669, and I'm also at PK Feng Shui on Facebook. So you would put facebook.com PK Feng Shui, or you can go directly to my website, fengshuiadvantage.com.
Perfect, great. And it's a tri-grid, that if they want to know their directions.
Trigram. So
Trigram.
They can email me with the word trigram or just date of birth in the subject line, and give me that information, and I'll send that information back to them at no cost.
Great.
And they can also sign up for my free monthly newsletter and get 16 weeks of free tips.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And I love the newsletter too.
great.
And thank you so much for being on the show. So just want to thank all our viewers. And remember, if you have any questions for Your Key to Real Estate, me, Shannon, Kriska, or for PK, she will be posted on Your Key to Real Estate TV. And that's the Facebook page on Facebook, or just friend me on Facebook. And if you know someone that you'd like to see on this show, you want to ask some great questions, post it as well. And until next time, give a smile to somebody else and make a difference.